Thank you so much for having me, Amy. It's really awesome to be here. I've been in the crowd many times, so it's really special to now be on stage. That's my face, and it's huge, gosh. So I'm Jayshree. I'm going to be talking to you about crying at work tonight. I know that sounds a bit depressing, but I promise it won't be. So quick intro to me. I'm a freelance copywriter, which means in a nutshell, I come up with words and ideas for clients and brands. I am an ex-Londoner. I moved here from the UK last year, so I'm kind of new in town still. I have an online copywriting course, as Amy mentioned, on Domestika. It's just an intro-level course for people that are keen on understanding what I do. And the most important thing you need to know about me tonight is that I have many big feelings about pretty much everything. And when I was younger, I thought of this as a bit of a weakness and a bit of a flaw. But since I've got older and really developed into my creative practice, I feel that it's a strength and, I'll be honest, a bit of a superpower now. Is there anyone else in the room that's a kind of big feeler type creative? Yes. Thank you. Thank you for joining and being part of the Tortured Artist Club. I really respect you. For me, being a sensitive person and being a creative person are very much the same thing. I don't believe that you can make good work without feeling things deeply. The sad thing is that it really gives your mental health a bit of a kicking. And so that brings me to the whole crying at work thing. I want to talk to you tonight about 3 times that I kind of got a bit emotional at work and what that taught me when the tears dried. So we'll get into that. So I want to start by talking about this guy. Do you know him? I'm pretty sure you know him. I call him Feedback Man. And he, or sometimes she, is the person that comes to you when you've done all your hard work and put all your energies into something and then tells you everything that's wrong with it. So I know that you know this person. I came across a version of this person when I was in London working on a campaign for Barnardo's. They are the UK's largest children's charity. And it was quite an ambitious campaign. We wanted to use CGI animals to help demonstrate what children go through day to day. And one of the things that was going on that time was that I was getting a lot of feedback because I was the writer and they had a lot of feedback on the scripts. So it was quite a difficult time. I was under quite a lot of scrutiny and it made me feel quite personal. It felt like the feedback was quite personal. And this is a real-time example of how I felt. I was just a junior writer, so I wasn't really prepared for that level of scrutiny. Happily, though, I had a bit of a creative breakthrough. I came across some transcripts from the Barnardo's archives, and what it showed me was that children, when they are going through something sad or going through something difficult, they actually use quite simple language. So I used that as part of my script writing process, and I created some scripts that went against the client's feedback, which is keeping them quite simple. And when we shared them, they actually ended up making those scripts because they agreed with me that the simpler scripts were the ones that felt the most authentic to the child's voice. So here is one of the ads that we made from that campaign. You'll see some CGI hyenas, which is a metaphor for bullies at school.
I moved school when I was 10. I don't know why they picked me. I was always scared and worried. Even at home, they'd message me all the time. I just wanted to hide. But coming to Barnardo's helped me deal with it. I feel better, stronger. I know I can get past this.
It's been a while since I've made that, so I haven't seen it for a while, but I hope it made you feel something. I'm still really proud of that work. Here's a quick peek at the behind the scenes of the CGI hyenas that you saw. And this brings me to my first takeaway, which is that you need to own your opinion. It's a sad but true fact that when you're a creative, you are going to get a long line of feedback people who come and tell you what's wrong with your work. But if you can really own your idea and be clear on what you want to achieve, it will help you shoot your shot and give your ideas the best chance of getting made, even in the face of the inevitable feedback. Case in point, the Barnardo's case study. Okay, I want to move on to talk about the reality of being a commercial creative. So it's an amazing job where you get to turn your creativity on pretty much for all briefs that you get. Unlike a real job, basically, a 9 to 5, you get to actually have fun. But the downside to it that not a lot of people talk about is that, like a real tap, if you leave your creativity running, you can also end up drying out. And that's what ended up happening to me during a period of my career. I found that I was getting burnt out. And not only that, I was losing my creative ideas, and my self-esteem and my confidence was going with that. So any guesses how that made me feel? Yeah. I was sad about it. And the thing with advertising is as well, they tell you that you're only as good as your last creative idea. So feeling like this started a really negative creative loop in my head. Thankfully, though, I saw a call out for a podcast that I really love called What Is This Behaviour? And they interview really inspirational South Asian creatives from around the world. And so when I saw that they were looking for a copywriter to collaborate with, I took it as a sign from the universe, and I got in touch with them. I ended up getting the gig, and it ended up being one of the best things I've ever done. I was working with them around my day job, but unlike my day job, I was given full creative freedom to write what I wanted or shape the project as I felt was most appropriate. They also gave me the trust to write an editor's letter for them. I actually ended up going on the podcast at a later date, and really special, I got on the mic to share a few words at their launch event, so it really reflected their trust in me and my abilities. So the project we created was an online directory of 101 South Asian creatives from all around the world. So here's a little trailer for that.
What is this behavior? Do you want it? You're dying for it.
So yeah, 101 creators meant a lot of writing for me, but I was happy to do it. Here's a quick look at the launch party event. So here's me in the middle with the hosts, who are actually really good friends of mine now. And as you can probably see from the night, it was just so energetic and such good vibes that it really gave me that, it really rekindled that spark that I was missing at that point in my career. Which brings me on to my second takeaway for the night. Tend to your creativity. It's not enough to just be a creative for work's sake. It's something that we really need to nurture and kind of pour into actively as creatives. And so it doesn't have to be a big high-stakes thing. It can be something that's just a hobby, just for you. In my case, I ended up working with a really supportive team of other fellow creatives, and they really helped me to rekindle that creative spark and keep my creative tap flowing. Okay, I'd like to fast forward now onto a moment from my freelance career. So when you're a freelancer, as some of you may know, you have to get really, really good at pitching your strengths. You need to get really good at knowing what you're good at doing. If you over-index on that, though, you can go too far and end up pigeonholing yourself, get it? Pigeonholing yourself and limiting your idea of what you think you're able to do. So picture this. This time last year, I got a brief from a client called Greenall's Gin. They approached me to help them script a content series for some films, and they wanted something funny, something a bit quirky, and they had in mind that they wanted it to be kind of Wes Anderson inspired, right? So to any normal creative, they would jump on that brief. What did I do? Just have a guess. Yeah. I freaked out because I was so worried, because I'd spent the whole year telling myself that I'm an emotionally intelligent creative that does really like hard-hitting work. I forgot that I could actually be funny as well as sensitive. So these tears were fear tears, as I called them. I managed to get a grip of myself long enough to actually say yes to the project, but I was scared pretty much the whole time. I was really worried that they were just going to boot me off and replace me with someone more hilarious. That didn't happen, thankfully, and I ended up seeing the project through to the end. And it was just such a good reminder for me that I'm not just one thing. I can be sensitive, but I can also be funny as well. So we ended up making a series of content films, and this is a snippet from one of them. The guy that you will see here is a real Greenall's employee. His name's Ryan, and he just immediately understood the humour that I was going for, and just his performance really elevated what I had on paper.
I help create new flavours that fit with Greenall's core taste and aroma.
Ryan spends a lot of time sniffing samples, like a lot. Ryan would love to tell you all about Greenall's gin development process, but it's top secret. Sorry about that.
Love Ryan. So my third and final takeaway is break out of character. I think we all have an idea of what we're good at doing, and that's great, especially, as I say, if you're a freelancer. But we shouldn't be letting ourselves be limited by that. We're none of us are one-trick ponies. We have so many strengths and other skills to offer. So we should be open to kind of growing into those strengths and discovering what those are. And by doing that, our portfolio can actually grow and develop. One-pager with a summary of them on there. You can also, it will also take you to a link to stalk me on Instagram, which everyone loves to do, and scroll my website for more information. And just to everyone in the room who's a sensitive creative, I would say be soft and stay sensitive, because the world needs more of us. Thank you so much, Amy and the team, for having me.